I'm Joe Gigliotti, PhD, and I am your guide for this journey you are about to embark on. Now, to survive here in this generation, you're going to have to know a few things. Come along for the ride. I will show you how to live. Welcome back to another edition of How to Live. I'm your host, extraordinaire, professor, and PhD, Joe Gigliotti. I thank you for tuning in. Today's episode is all about how to mend, meaning we want you to learn how to be in great physical shape and condition. We want you to be healthy. And our first lesson of the day involves that pearly white smile of yours. And to keep up that pearly white smile and just the overall health of your mouth, you have to regularly see a dentist. See a dentist.
There goes another one down the ways. Another tank off the assembly line and into America's line of defense, making America strong. But the strength of a nation rests on the health of the people, on the health of the Army, on the health of the men in factory and farm who equip and feed the Army, on the health of all the people in every walk of life. That's important. So just how healthy are we? For instance, how are your teeth? Have you thought of them lately? Well, that's what we want to talk about your teeth. Will everybody in the audience please run the tip of his tongue over his teeth, just to get into the spirit of the story, please? That's right. Thank you. Just like that. That's the idea. Thank you. And what do you find? Anything wrong? Bridge work? Missing teeth? That's what I thought. Well, now that we've taken inventory of our own teeth, let's go on with the story. Here is a scene familiar to every part of the nation. Selective servicemen being examined for physical fitness prior to their induction in the Army. Would you be surprised to know that more men are rejected for bad teeth than for any other reason? That of all those termed unfit for service, 20% were turned back because of dental disabilities. That's an alarming figure. And if so many of these men who should be in the prime of health have bad teeth, what about the rest of our 130 millions? What about you? It's something to think about. There goes another one. Turned down by the Army. Turned down by business. Turned down by the girls. Can't get to first base. A failure in the Army, in business, in romance. Reason? Bad teeth. Result? Bad appearance. But what about this chap? Take a good look at him because he's going to be with us most of the picture. Name? Danny Smith. Age 24. Husky, clean-cut young American. Looks like he has good sound teeth. Did he take care of them? Is it just luck? Or what? For the answer to that, we'll have to go back to the time when Danny reached the ripe old age of 2 years, a point in life that suggests to his mother he should be taken to the dentist for an examination. Mr. Smith is a little surprised. What? Take a 2-year-old to the dentist? Nonsense. But Mrs. Smith reports that at a meeting of the Mothers Club, A doctor advised parents to take their children to the dentist as soon as all the baby teeth are through the gums. But Mr. Smith still thinks the idea is pretty ridiculous. Children of 2 going to the dentist. Silly, says Mr. Smith. So they go to the dentist. The doctor gets off to a good start with Danny and makes him feel right at home. Child psychology, they call it nowadays. Danny takes the examination in his stride. Doesn't mind it a bit. In fact, he enjoys the experience. He'll remember it as good fun when it comes time for the next visit in 4 months. And Mr. and Mrs. Smith are going to remember it too, for the doctor told them many surprising things about teeth that day. For instance, he informed the Smiths they could walk along anywhere and stop almost anybody and find they have decayed teeth. Yes, anybody at all. Take this in a hurry, gentlemen. Like almost everybody else, he has decayed teeth. And what does he do? Well, let's see what he does. He thinks it over very carefully and then decides he's too busy to take care of a little cavity. It doesn't hurt, and after all, what's a little cavity? Nothing. Months go by and a year goes by, and then what happens? Our friend comes running. And now the little cavity has become a big cavity, and the little pain is a big pain. So suddenly, he's not too busy. He wouldn't bother with the cavity, bother with bridge work, and he didn't want to run up a bill, so now it's a big bill. After all, what's a little cavity? Well, the years pass. Danny, a normal youngster of normal tastes, and that includes candy, grows into a stalwart young man of excellent appearance. Glowing with good health, he reflects the advice and care of his mother, who saw to it through the years of his boyhood and after, that Danny had the best of physical attention, particularly in the matter of his teeth. And those regular visits of Danny's to the dentist have paid dividends. He has strong, fine-looking teeth, and they unquestionably aid in the favorable impression one instantly gets of this alert, pleasant-looking young man. Just as they played their part some months back when Danny made application for an important job that meant a lot to him. Perhaps you question the statement that teeth strikingly affect your appearance. If so, take a look at those about you. Better yet, look at this lovely... Since this picture is about faces, observe how bright, healthy teeth complement her attractive face. Nice teeth always help. We don't appreciate how essential they are until we make comparisons. As in the case of these gentlemen, note how teeth affect their appearance. This first one, would you say there was competition for Robert Taylor here? Or here? Or here? After all, what's a little cavity? Well, we see he has good sound teeth. A must if he would be healthy, and a must if he values his personal must. Well, like some of us, he sometimes on June 18th. That's today, and you're supposed to go to the dentist. Remember? No, he doesn't remember. Well, we've got some bad news for him. He doesn't know it yet, but one of his teeth is beginning to decay. The strange part of it is, Danny takes good care of his teeth. For example, he eats good, solid food. Very little sweets. But his teeth are decaying anyway. That's how teeth are. There's no way of stopping the decay except by going to a dentist, having it removed, and the tooth filled. Danny brushes his teeth every day, and properly too, but that doesn't stop decay. His teeth and your teeth need more than a bath. They need a dentist. The dental appointment has been completely forgotten. Danny is hard at work, but unfortunately for him, the decay is also hard at work. He just doesn't realize how he'll look if he loses that tooth. It does make a difference, doesn't it? Danny is going to be just another man who wouldn't bother with a little cavity. That is, unless something happens, unless something warns him of the danger. Wow! Well, Danny got his warning. The cold water did the trick, and he's lucky it happened before the decay had gone too far. Yes, the cold water was the pause that remembers, the pause that made him remember he forgot. And before you and I can say, see your dentist regularly, Danny will be sitting in the dentist chair, and the decay has been checked, and the tooth saved. But what's all this got to do with defense, you ask? Plenty, I assure you. Now, and desperately, is the time for all good men and all good women to come to the aid of their country. We, the people, can't render 100% aid if we, the people, have bad health because of bad teeth. Danny is just an example. He had the training and foresight to safeguard his teeth, and when danger struck, he stopped the decay that could have sapped his health and made him unfit to serve his country at a time when it needed him. On the state of his health, and all our health, may in a very large degree depend the strength of our defense. Danny is ready. He has prepared. And the men who are in the armed forces, they will be prepared. They will get the dental care they need. But the men in industry, farmers, students, housewives, children, how about them? Are they getting the proper dental care as individuals or as members of the community? As a matter of fact, you're part of the strength or weakness of this country. How about you?
You've taken that trip to the dentist and hopefully gotten a complimentary toothbrush. It's time to dive into our next lesson here on how to mend. And that involves something that we really can't avoid: the sniffles, the sneezes, the coughs. This next lesson is all about the common cold. The common cold.
The symptoms are quite familiar, and very likely you'll come up with a correct diagnosis. Yes, it looks like a cold, a common cold. Runny nose, headache, achiness, very often a slight fever. Those are some of the symptoms of the common cold. Well, how do we get into that unhappy state? Do we have colds simply because of cold, because of ice, snow, and low temperature? No. Funny thing about colds, where it is coldest, the inhabitants hardly ever get colds. Explorers tell us that Eskimos are cold-free, unless they come in contact with visitors from outside their frozen world. Then, if it is not just cold weather, what is it that causes so many of us to catch cold? Scientists think that most colds are caused by extremely small microorganisms called viruses. Viruses, and there are many different kinds of them, can be scattered with each particle of saliva and mucus when one sneezes or coughs, for instance. But do not think for a moment that cold-producing viruses are spread only by sneezing and coughing. If by some magic the tiny particles of saliva and mucus could be made visible as a black smudge, we quickly would realize in how many other ways we are apt to scatter bacteria and viruses all around us. For instance, Jane here has a cold. Look at that smudge. Look at those germs she leaves on the doorknob. And here's Bob's hand picking them up. Bob, his hand now covered with germs picked up from that doorknob, transfers them to a book. Sue, having the bad habit of wetting her finger to turn pages, carries the germs from the book to her mouth, and then passes them along with a pencil to Anne. Anne carries them home and leaves them on the family's dinner table. Yes, even during an ordinary conversation, saliva and mucus particles escape our mouth and easily reach others who inhale them as they breathe. Just remember how breath becomes visible on a cold day. How then, with so many germs surrounding us, can we avoid having colds all the time? Well, fortunately, our body has defenses against this enemy. Normally, we breathe through our nose. The nose, as well as the sinuses, the eustachian tubes, and the throat, are lined with a delicate membrane. If, under a microscope, you look at the lining of the nose, we call it the nasal membrane, you can see that it is covered with tiny moving threads. These are called cilia. They move back and forth like stalks of grain when a wind blows over a field. The cilia are covered with a warm, moist, sticky substance called mucus. The nose usually secretes about a quart of this liquid every 24 hours. This mucus, by warming and moistening the air we breathe in, prepares it for our lungs. The mucus also catches and destroys microorganisms, that is, bacteria and viruses. The movement of the cilia carries the mucus down to the pharynx. Then it is coughed out or swallowed into the stomach, where any remaining microorganisms are destroyed by the digestive juices. If these defenses are weakened, the cold virus will gain a foothold and cause the inflammations which so often are associated with the common cold. The common cold is not a serious sickness, but still, medical science as yet has not found a cure for it. Ah, yes, there are remedies galore, all sorts of medications, which soothe pain and headaches and so bring some relief. However, they do not cure colds. And no matter how convincingly they may be advertised, do not use them without having checked with your doctor. But there is a sound prescription. If you have a cold, don't stay in school, because if you do, you may send others home with your cold. If you have a cold, stay home. Stay in bed. This is the prescription which common sense and medical science recommend. Medicines, but only those your doctor prescribes. No others. Warmth, rest, which you can get best when you stay in bed. And while you're there, you might as well make the best of it. Right. Use tissues instead of handkerchiefs. That way you'll dispose of the germs much better than when you blow them into a handkerchief. However, should you not feel better in a couple of days, or if you keep on having a fever, you should ask your parents to call a doctor. You see, what you think is a simple cold could really be the first symptoms of some other disease, such as measles, infantile paralysis, diphtheria, whooping cough, scarlet fever, influenza, and others. However, even if your illness proves to be only a simple cold, it is still important that you take care of it. A cold which is not treated might very well back up along the mucous membrane and so invade the sinuses, the cavities in the bones of the face and the skull. Or the infection may reach the middle ears when it invades the eustachian tubes, which connect the middle ears with the throat. Frequently, the inflammation also travels down the respiratory tract to the pharynx, the larynx, and the trachea. Your throat feels sore and your voice is husky. It travels to the bronchi. You have a bad cough. And occasionally even to the lungs, and that is pneumonia. These are painful complications, and they often take a long time to clear up. The best defense against the common cold and all these other diseases is to keep up the body's natural resistance. To do so, you must eat regularly and well-balanced meals. That is, meat, vegetables, fruit, milk, and so on. Get lots of exercise and fresh air, but do not exhaust yourself. In cold weather, you must wear sensible clothing to provide proper warmth to remain healthy. Go to bed at a reasonable hour. While you grow, you need about 10 hours of sleep each night. Sleep recharges the body's energies. Protect yourself against infection. Keep pencils and other things out of your mouth. Never take bites of other people's food. Do not use somebody else's drinking straw or glass, not even within your own family. In the bathroom, for instance, use only your glass. And wash your hands frequently and thoroughly, especially before eating. When you wash your hands, you wash away many of the disease-carrying smudges you may have picked up. But if in spite of all these precautions, you still come down with a cold, let us repeat, take it to bed and stay there until it has run its course. This is the safest way to regain your health and to return as quickly as possible to work, to fun, and to play.
Very important lesson, now that we've gotten the ins and outs of the common cold out of the way, is all about your posture, another part in how to mend. And having a good posture is all about learning how to sit, straight, sit straight.
If success or happy morning paper, what qualities do you think you would need? Your high school diploma, a college degree, beauty, brains, pull, popularity? All of us want to make a success of our lives, and while some careers call for special talents and special skills, there are qualities we all can develop to bring success to each one of us as a person. Take Bill here. Success to him right now means getting a job, and he's checking up on himself to see if he has the qualifications mentioned in the ad. As he makes the rounds, he finds that poise, radiant health, and good appearance are of great importance in the adult world. That success, while it depends on a number of things, includes these characteristics. He sensed these things in school, of course, as most of you do, and Mom and Dad talk some about it at home, but few of us take the time to really study the subject. You hear a lot about personality in high school and college, about he or she is a good personality, poor one. Look at her posture. Here's Tom, stiff as a ramrod. His shoulders are braced back. Instead of being balanced and ready to move, he's on induces fatigue. Susie slouches, and thereby, instead of appearing as an alert, friendly young lady, she seems tired all the time. Now, Jack may be an A student, but his personality and poise would be improved if his posture were not so lopsided. Some of these posture faults go back to our kindergarten days and before. Parents and teachers, realizing the importance of posture, appearance, and physical and mental health, give more thought to it than formerly. The chair must fit even the smallest child if he's to learn good posture habits. Hips should touch the back of the chair, and the feet should be flat on the floor. Later on, when used, health-conscious teachers fit the child instead of merely assigning a child to a desk, as was done too often in the past. Now we know that boys and girls, too, should learn the feel of sitting correctly, because good poise and balanced posture not only improve appearance and cut down fatigue, but they make it easier to concentrate on the lessons or whatever is at hand. If you have formed some bad functional posture habits, talk to your teacher, who will help you correct them if you'll take the time and effort. With good posture, a straight line should run from the tip of your skull down through your neck, shoulders, hips, knees, and insteps. If the line is fairly straight, then your line of balance is good. If your head sticks out like a turtle, or if you slump to one side or slouch on one foot, or if your tummy sticks out, your line of balance is bad, and a strain is placed on your muscles to keep you from falling. Bad posture, if continued, means that you can't work well or enjoy playing your favorite sport. We won't run a straight line from the tip of your skull down through your insteps, but here is an adequate substitute to practice at home with the aid of a partner. Stand with your back to a wall. Heels, shoulders, and calves of legs should touch the wall. Let your partner check you. Head, shoulders, calves of legs, heels, all touching wall. Head, shoulders, heels, all in line. If so, good. If not, practice till you are in good posture. Try to get the balance feel, and then hold that line. Let's check on this young man's standing posture. Head high, as if balancing a book on the head. Chest out. Abdomen and back as flat as possible. Knees very lightly flexed, not locked. Weight slightly forward over the balls of the feet and distributed evenly on each foot. Feet parallel, about 6 inches apart. This posture check is as good for the fair sex as it is for the rugged male. The sense of balance you gain from it is truly remarkable. It gives you a feeling of poise, and without poise, no one can be really attractive. If you have a space at the back of your waistline, try to flatten the hollow of your back by pulling in against the wall. Good posture depends on skill, not strength. So practice this posture over and over and carry it with you wherever you go. You'll be surprised how much better you'll feel once you've gained balanced posture. And you men, relax. Remember the straight line of balanced posture. Don't slump, but don't be a ramrod either. People with good posture enjoy life, enjoy going places and doing things, and they become less tired because of that balanced feeling. Of course, without good health, one can never achieve that balanced feeling, and an important part of good health is proper eating. Here's a good way to start the day right. Citrus fruit, whole grain cereal, milk and cocoa. Don't skimp on breakfast. It's important. And take time for lunch. Take time to eat the foods that are good for you, like this tempting cheese sandwich, green and yellow vegetables, and fruit. We'll leave the carbohydrates and the vitamins, the enzymes, and the proteins to the science class, and rely on the 7 basic foods as recommended by the National Research Council. These are milk and its products, meat, cheese, fish or eggs, green and yellow vegetables, potatoes, citrus fruit every day and other fruits in season, cereals, some whole-grained and enriched, and bread and butter give you the 50-odd chemical constituents you need for proper nutrition. You can get them all in these simple but attractive meals which are easy to cook. Because good nutrition, posture, proper rest, and physical activity are the basis for a good personality, modern teachers of physical education have developed interpretive exercises that can be fun as well as healthful. The emphasis is on fresh air, mass rhythms, and interpretive dances, which call into play all the muscles and bones functioning together for good posture. This open-air pageant is a good example of the new idea in physical education. These folks are having fun as well as exercising, and they have their eyes on the future. Remember, if you want to have fun, if you want to really enjoy life, practice good posture. Get that balanced feeling. Eat good foods regularly in your 3 meals a day to maintain good health. Get enough rest and exercise in the fresh air to release tensions and have fun. Radiant health, good appearance, poise, and good posture will help you enjoy life, not only as an individual, but as a member of the community and as a citizen of America.
Okay, welcome back. Now that you've got that posture all down and you're sitting up straight, it's time for our next lesson in how to mend. And the next lesson it's general, and we want you to be healthy. So it's very important that you stay healthy and just have an overall gauge on your health. And that, folks, involves taking care of your self. Take care of yourself.
Did you ever think how much fun it is just to be alive when you feel healthy and well? Judy and Jim are well almost all of the time because they follow good health practices. And because they are healthy, they have fun almost all of the time, doing all kinds of things. Of course, anyone can have fun playing in the snow or at the beach, but Judy and Jim have fun doing their work too because they are healthy and well. Good eating practices help Judy and Jim stay healthy and well. Jim knows that his body must have food, just like an automobile must have gasoline. Gasoline is the fuel that a car's engine must have to keep running. The engine uses the fuel to make power, to move the car. To go fast on the highways, to climb steep hills. Your engine needs fuel too. Food is the fuel that you must have to get strength for play and for work. Your body uses fuel all of the time, even when you're sleeping. Yes, brain work takes a great deal of fuel. Different foods must go together to make the best fuel for you. Mothers know how to put these foods together to make healthful meals. When the foods are together the right way, we call it a balanced meal. See if you can name the foods in the balanced meal that Judy serves to Jim. Young children don't have to know all the ways that food should go together. Your job is to learn good eating practices. First, eat slowly and chew thoroughly. Food makes the best fuel when it is eaten slowly and chewed thoroughly. Second, eat all of the food that is served to you. Then you won't run out of fuel when your engine needs it most. Third, don't eat too many sweets. Sweets are party food for special times. Fruits always are a good dessert. And fruit helps you to follow good toilet practices. Here is another way in which you are like an auto. There is always some waste to get rid of when the engine uses fuel. That's why cars have exhaust pipes. There is always waste to get rid of when your engine uses the food you eat for fuel. Good toilet practices means getting rid of the waste at the right times in the right ways. It's a very important practice to wash your hands each time after going to the toilet. Jim and Judy go to the toilet after breakfast each morning and before going to bed each night. you should follow the practice of going at regular times like this. But of course, you should go at other times too. Always go to the toilet when you feel like going. Don't be bashful or silly about toilet habits. Remember, an engine can't run when the exhaust is stopped up. Some foods help to keep you from getting stopped up. It's a good toilet habit to eat plenty of fruits, green vegetables, hot cereals, and dark bread. They all help you stay clean inside. Staying clean inside and outside is a part of being healthy. So, staying clean is another important health practice. Judy and Jim bathe before breakfast each morning on school days. Some people bathe before bedtime each night. It isn't so important just when you bathe, but washing all over once a day is a fine practice for good health. Keep your hair clean. Long hair like Judy's needs extra washing and brushing to be clean and glossy. In clean clothes, fresh as a daisy, Judy is ready for school. Jim likes a shower better than a bath. Either one is fine, so long as you use plenty of soap and plenty of hot water. And plenty of elbow grease, like Jim is doing. Jim does a good job of washing his hair, too. Spick and span in his clean clothes, Jim is ready for morning inspection. Do you think Jim will pass inspection? Well, let's see. Neck clean? Yes, indeed. Ears? No dirt there. Now, what about those hands? Clean as a whistle. Jim follows good practices in keeping his hands clean. Hands will get dirty. So remember, after playing games, after playing with animals, and always after going to the toilet, wash your hands with plenty of soap and hot water. Wash your hands before handling food. Before setting the table. And especially before brushing your teeth. Can you think why these before rules are so very important? Keep your fingernails short and clean. When dirt gets under your nails, even soap and water can't wash it out. It takes some digging to get nails as clean as Jim's. Now, who is this? A football player. And who is this topsy-turvy person? Why, it's Judy, having fun at the beach. Yes, the beach is a wonderful place to have fun, if you are careful to guard against sunburn, and if you don't get too tired. You know, even a football player needs to rest once in a while. When you are tired, you're like a toy car with its spring run down. Rest is what winds the springs so you will be ready to run again. It looks like Jim's spring is wound up already. Looks like Jim is all ready to run again. There, you see? Jim is not tired now. But good rest practices mean resting when you should rest, not just when you feel tired. On vacation days, when they're playing hard, Judy and Jim take a rest after lunch. They take it easy for at least an hour to give their food a chance to digest. Then they're ready to play again until it's time to go home. Getting plenty of sleep is the most important rest practice. Young people need much more sleep than grown-ups. And remember other health practices when you get ready for bed. Going to the toilet to stay clean inside, washing with soap and water to stay clean outside, and brushing your teeth to keep them clean are good health practices to follow every night at bedtime. Being clean, outside and in, helps you to get a good sleep. Your body rests better when it is clean. A healthful, balanced supper helps you get a good sleep too. And while you sleep, your body will use the food to build strength for another day. You see, health practices go together to build strong bodies for work and for play. There are so many beautiful and interesting things in the world to see and to do. Why not let good health practices help you to happy days all of your life?
Hello and welcome back. Now that you've listened to the lesson of how to take care of yourself, it's time to learn how to get into a good routine, get into a good daily regimen, if you will. And for that, we came up with this double H word, and that is healthful habits. Healthful habits.
A bright new day, a vacation day, is starting for Judy and Jim. They're going to the beach today, and when they look out of their windows, they see the blue ocean waiting for them. They hear the waves breaking on the shore. They see a ship anchored in the harbor. And they smell the clean seagulls soar. Judy and Jim will have a wonderful time, beautiful day, and they guard their good health by following good practices. Taking care of their teeth is one of the good health practices. Eating the right foods helps them have good teeth. Hot cereal, orange juice, eggs, and milk all are good foods for teeth. Judy has to see her friend, the dentist, before she goes to the beach. She knows that he will be pleased with the way she's taken care of her gums and teeth. She has been careful to brush her teeth after each meal, and she has brushed her teeth the right way. She squeezes the paste onto her dry brush. She brushes down on her upper teeth, over the gums and the teeth. She brushes up on her lower gums and teeth. Over the gums, down on upper teeth, up on lower teeth, like this. Don't forget to brush inside, up on lower teeth, down on upper teeth. And don't forget to brush the biting parts of your teeth. Sure enough, when her friend, the dentist, looked at Judy's mouth, he was pleased to see her healthy gums and teeth. He told her to keep up the good work and to come see him again in about 6 months. Seeing your dentist whenever he wants you to come is one of the best health practices. Jim still has his first teeth, some of them, that is, but he takes care of his first teeth because they are guides for his important second teeth. It's never too soon to start good health practices. Yes, that's right. Rocks are much better than teeth for cracking nuts. Good boy, Jim. You were right in not pulling that cork with your teeth. So long as you guard against sunburn, a trip to the beach is great fun, especially when there's a lunch like this. Good food, good for you. With oranges and apples to make the perfect picnic dessert. Most people wouldn't take toothbrushes to a picnic, but it's a good idea to rinse your mouth after eating. Judy and Jim take a rest after lunch. Then they're off again. There are so many things to do at the beach. There are so many things to see. Foam brought in by the waves and taken back again. Strange things that grow in the ocean. Bright flowers that grow in the salty sand. And is this a flower growing underwater? Why, it's alive. A sea anemone. Jim needs his glasses to see far-off things. That ship looks fuzzy, doesn't it? But now, let's see. Now you can see how important glasses are to Jim. He is careful to keep his glasses in their case when he's not wearing them. People who wear glasses have a special rule. Take care of your glasses. Judy has strong eyes, and she wears dark glasses at the beach. But even with dark glasses, she finds shade for reading. Now what's up? It looks like Jim has trouble. Not very serious trouble, however. Jim was wise not to dig at that eye himself. It's best to get a grown-up's help when you get something in your eye. Judy has an ear infection, so she can't go in the water today. She hates to stay behind, but she knows that it's important to take care of your ears. Our ears tell us many things. Judy would have missed the train if she hadn't been able to hear the whistle. Now, can you see the mistake that Jim is making? That's it. Don't pound your ear to knock water out. Use a towel. Did you know that there is a right way and a wrong way to blow your nose? You should blow it on one side at a time. Like this. When Mother decides that they have been in the sun long enough for one day, Judy has to stop reading. To save her eyes, Judy will not read in the car on the way home. At home, there are other good eye practices to be followed. Let's see if Jim knows how to save his eyes while watching television. That's right, Jim. Stay away from the screen while watching television. Of course, Jim always wears his glasses while watching TV. Judy has homework to do. Because she is right-handed,
she has the light come from the left to keep shadows away from her work. If she were left-handed, the light would be on her right. Her good posture helps keep Judy from getting tired. Her feet are flat on the floor and sits tall without being stiff or strained. Sitting this way, Judy can work a long time without getting tired. After playing so hard at the beach, supper will taste especially good tonight. Those leafy green vegetables and carrots are especially good for eyes. They won't go to waste. Good health means good appetites. And good appetites mean good health. Good health means good. Jim is ready for bed. He has brushed his teeth. He puts away his glasses, safe for the night, and into bed he goes. Pleasant dreams, Jim. And pleasant dreams, Judy. Your good health practices should bring you many more happy days of work and of play.
Hello and welcome back. Now that you've got those healthful habits, that should just about do it for our lessons in how to mend. You should be in good physical and mental condition to live your life to the fullest. We thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of How to Live. I'm your professor, your host, and PhD, Joe Gigliotti. Keep it simple, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.